a heavy sink, so a bit of a change of pace.
Camera rolling.
You say Maya had a strange relationship with your father. How would you describe yours?
It was alright.
Alright. Have you not in the past referred to your father as a bully?
Once or twice.
Yet you still consider your relationship to be alright.
Most of the time.
How would you describe it at those times when it wasn't alright?
Tense, I suppose.
So tense that you hated him.
I wouldn't say hated, disliked maybe.
Did you dislike him enough to blame him for something he didn't do?
The man's dead, Mr. Ramsey. It's a bit late to punish him now, don't you think? I'm just here to make sure an innocent man isn't blamed for what happened to my sister.
That's assuming you're telling the truth. It's very easy to accuse a dead man.
Not when a dead man's your father, it's not.
Yet here you are, volunteering to, despite there being not one shred of evidence to support your claims. Think about it. All we have is this man's word, no real evidence, just an allegation tainting the reputation of an innocent man. A man whose reputation is of the highest standing in his community.
I could say the same about your case, prosecutor. Isn't it just her words against his? There's no real evidence.
We have a physical identification of the defendant.
So I hear. You know, I once saw Mr. Neal get changed on the beach once too. Does that mean he molested me? You want to see real evidence? I haven't been able to straighten this arm since I was 5 years old. You know why? Because my father didn't believe me when I told him I couldn't ride without training wheels. So he took them off and pushed me down a hill. I broke it in 3 places.
Sounds like a story of a son harboring a lot of resentment.
You want more stories, prosecutor? Why didn't you ask Mayor what happened on my 3rd birthday when I headed down the beach without my thongs on? Dad had warned me not to because of windy-eyed patches in the grass, but I must have forgotten because I got stuck there. I cried for hours, but he didn't care. He just left me. Made me walk through it. By the time I got home, the soles of my feet were drenched in so much blood, I could barely see the skin. My feet were covered in hundreds of tiny cuts. I had to pick each bindi out myself. He said it would toughen me up. Do you remember that? My father was not the saint he was made out to be, Mr. Ramsey. But just so you know, my abuse started well before hers ever did.